All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Just let me see. I've got Carlisle, John, Rodrigo, and Tanya, right?
Yes.
So far. Let's see. Who else can respond here? Just to make sure I've got my audio going okay. You guys can hear me fine, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You're loud and clear.
Yes.
I'm going to change something on my audio real quick because I want to be able to hear a little bit better. I'm not going to use the video yet. I just don't want to disrupt what I'm doing. Not that it really matters. Okay. Okay, well, we're all here for the PMP or the CAPM, whatever makes you happy, right? And so I've got a couple of students that passed the exam in the last few days, the PMP that is. So I've got some good feedback from them, and I will get them on a call. So just give me a heads up here. What are we doing? PMP, CAPM, what are you thinking about doing?
PMP.
PMP, Carlisle. Did I get that right, Carlisle?
That's correct.
All right. John, what you got to do?
First, I'll be working on my CAPM.
Okay, good. All right, so the questions that I've got for you today are CAPM, PMP, so that's good. Rodrigo, what do you got?
I'm doing PMP.
All right, and Tanya? I don't know if she's got her audio yet, so. Okay, so, like I said, I talked to a student today. I gave him a call because he sent me an email this morning. And his name is Jim Thomas. He's from here where I am in San Antonio. By the way, some of you may not know, so this is me, just so you'll know who you're talking to someone here. Welcome. All right, so you'll know that I'm real somewhere out here. He told me that he did pretty good, and I saw his results because he showed them to me, and he was happy that he finally took the exam. Now, what he told me to tell anybody was that he just wasted too much time because he went to one of my training courses about 3 years ago. So he kept on procrastinating, just like a lot of us do. I mean, I do it all the time too. I got like a degree, a PhD in procrastination. So just make sure that for these kinds of exams, I have like this 30-day window for everything I do on exams nowadays. So once you decide what you want to do, then let me give a little marker here. It's a 30-day window. 30-day window. 30 days, I want to knock this thing out. And I know that it could stretch to 40 days. I get all that. Okay, I understand that. But if you're actually spending an hour per day, 1 hour, so let's just say 1 hour times 30 days. Okay, so that's 30. So in 30 to 45 days, you should be ready for the exam because you're going to build momentum. So one thing that happens with me when I'm studying is once I get over that learning curve, let me show you what happens to me because this is very important. The very first learning time, I go like this. It's a real steep learning curve, like it's huge. I'm even surprised at myself that learning curve is so big because I look at this type of material all the time. But then real quickly though, within about 5 days, maybe earlier, 4 or 5 days, it just plateaus real quick. So now I'm on this huge, I'm capturing the knowledge faster. So this part right here was difficult for me, but this part over here, once I get to that plateau, this part right here, it's like learning is easier. I'm getting it, I'm understanding it. And so what will happen is, while here I was only doing like 1 hour per day or something like that, maybe an hour and a half, here I'm doing like 2 or 3 hours per day whenever I can find the time because I'm actually motivated now. I'm motivated because I know that what I'm doing is getting it. So it just goes faster. And I think that's probably one of the biggest tips that I can give you is that once you get that momentum, it's really cool because you're going to be knocking stuff out. So that's my formula. It works. I tell all my students the same formula. Some actually go by exactly what I say by the book, but others, procrastinate just like I do. So I've got an exam I'm studying for right now, and literally I'm not going to start till next week, even though I've got to take it in about 30 days. So, but that's just the way it is. Okay. So just FYI on how these things work. Any questions before we get started? Okay. If you do, you always can let me know. All right, so I've got a few questions for you, and we can look at them together, and let's see what you think. All right, so the sponsor, question number 1, the sponsor communicated to the project manager the importance of delivering the IT component by the agreed date. What action is most important to the project manager? A, ensure budget is available to meet the date. Review the schedule plan to ensure work effort is appropriate to meet the date. C, revise the WBS dictionary. And D, contact the vendor to expedite delivery of raw materials. All right, so before we answer the question, what does this role do? What's the purpose of this role? What do they do? What does the sponsor do? Anybody? And we wait. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you cannot hear me. Sponsor. Sponsor pays for the project. That's the role of the sponsor. The sponsor pays for the project. All right. So the sponsor communicated to the project manager the importance of delivering the IT component by the agreed date. So what action is most important to the project manager? So you're told now, what the situation is. Is it A, ensure budget is delivered on time to meet a date? What do y'all think? I read through these. What do you think is the answer? If you were to
I'd say B.
All right. So,
That's
all right,
John.
so who was that? John?
John.
And John, so why do you think it's B?
Well, he's emphasizing the schedule to make sure that we meet the appropriate date.
All right, there you go. All right, so you did it right, John. See? You see how the question told you what to look for, right?
Yep.
Okay, so there are, I forgot, John, are you taking the CAPM or the PMP?
I'll be just looking towards the CAPM. I haven't even started yet, so I just wanted to plug in. I finally got a chance to plug into your program.
No worries. So I'm just letting you know that what is in the question gave you the answer, right? Specifically. And
Yeah, that did.
That's what I want you to do. Now, I want you to read these questions carefully, because sometimes we glaze over them, like I do sometimes, and yet the answer was specifically in the question, asking or telling you, hey, I want you to focus on the actual question itself, and that will give you the answer. Okay, so that was pretty good. Now, ensure budget is available to meet the date. You see how tricky that one is, because it uses the word date. However, here's what I want to tell you now. However, this is a right answer, because sure, we care about the budget, but this one is the best answer. So on the exam, CAPM, PMP, you don't answer the right, you don't give the right answer, because there could be more than one right answer. Your job is to pick the best answer. Do you see the difference between those two? So make sure you're clear on those.
Yep, sure do.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Makes
That
sense.
is a very tricky part of the exam. And brother John, you got it right. Okay, so that's the answer. And we've got to be clear, because, there on the CAPM, John, there are 150 questions. On the PMP, 200. So believe me, PMI wants 150 ways to trick you, and on the PMP, they wanted 200 ways to trick you. So be ready for these kinds of questions. All right, here we go. Let's take another one. All right, the team members are confused regarding the deliverable requested by a remote customer. What has likely caused this confusion? Now, this I can tell you, my friends, this is the kind of way they like to ask questions on the exam. They like to say something like, what has likely caused the confusion? So you know the word likely? If we go back to our English days, this is an adverb. Not that it matters in what we're talking about, okay? But it's an adverb, okay? And the word likely is just kind of ambiguous, like what has likely caused the confusion? Okay, so two team members are confused. A, the WBS was created without customer engagement. B, the scope was elaborated after the requirements were gathered. The management plan lacked the scope definition, or the team members lacked engagement during the requirements collection process. Okay, give me an answer that's not right. Which one is not right? Which one would you knock out?
C.
C, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you, Carlisle. Why do you think is not a good answer?
Well, it says there the management plan lacked the scope definition. If you had a plan at all, you pretty much had a reasonable definition, but without having the entire scope laid out, it'd be hard to make a real decision with regards to telling the group.
Yeah, and I'm having a little hard time hearing you, but I agree with you, Carlo. It's actually kind of ambiguous, number one, but you're right. If I had a management plan, I had a scope management plan, so I would argue that is not a correct statement. I'm with you on that one. All right, good. Anybody else? What would you remove here? Tanya, Rodrigo, John, what would you remove here?
Total guess, but maybe A.
Okay, that is a correct answer. Why is that? Why would you remove that?
It's making an assumption in that statement to me that the project manager built the whole plan without engaging.
That's a good point. That's a good point, John. That you're saying that you did it on your own without even talking, but yet we know that that's driven by the customer because the customer is a stakeholder, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that's a good point. All right, so now you got Bravo Delta, right? And
Yep.
what's the problem here? Which one seems like the most right? Maybe instead of knocking one out, which one now seems right?
I would say B is the correct answer.
Bravo or Delta?
Bravo is the correct answer.
All right, tell me why you think Bravo was the correct answer.
I think it was probably a little bit of mission creep there, and someone elaborated on something and they didn't capture it in the plan.
Okay. All right, anybody else?
I'm going to go with D because if you don't get total buy-in from the team members, they miss a meeting or something like that, then of course they're not going to know what's going on, and then they end up getting the short end of the stick.
Okay. All right. So good point. Now, you know this is a D question, right? As in difficult. Okay? I want you to know that. Not an easy one. Not an easy one. Okay, so just want to let you know that. Okay, and does anybody else have any comments before I tell you what I think is the answer? I mean, I did write this one, so I did write all of them, so. All right, here. All right, here, let's look at B real quick. Look at B Bravo. The scope was elaborated after the requirements were gathered. All right, let's go back. There's a right now when you guys are studying the current PMBOK, the 5th edition of the PMBOK. I know we're on the new one, but 5.2 is collect requirements. 5.3 is define scope. Okay? So 5.2 is collect requirements. 5.3 is define the scope. So let's go back to the question. The scope was elaborated after the requirements were gathered. Does that, based on what I showed you here, is that okay? The scope was elaborated after requirements. Anybody? Isn't that the correct process? The scope was elaborated or defined after the requirements. Isn't that a true statement?
Sorry, I got sidetracked, so I couldn't see your comments.
So, no worries. So what I'm saying is, I see where you were going with that, John. However, what I was trying to do is trick you by using weird terms. And when you go back to the question, the scope was elaborated after the requirements were gathered. That's a true statement. Therefore, this is not what caused the confusion, because this is the correct set of steps. Let me go back here. You see how defining scope happens after collecting requirements? So first you collect requirements and then you define the scope, which is elaboration of the scope. So that is okay. That shouldn't have caused confusion, because that is the normal set of steps. Still confusing, or you got it?
No, got it.
Okay.
Hey, I've actually got to drop out of here, so
No worries,
thank you,
no worries.
and then I'll catch up with you another time.
So I'll send it to you, okay?
All right, thank you.
You bet. Hey, you guys have what I just said. Those of you who are still here, John, Kit, y'all get it? The team members lacked engagement is the answer, because that's what causes confusion. So Carlisle, you get that right. You can go to In-N-Out Burger now and enjoy it. All right. One more for you guys. That is correct. TD. One more. All right. So the plan to add the emergency services building to the community hospital was delayed because the resources were unavailable. Which of the following is most likely to get the project back on track? All right, so we have a plan to add emergency services to the community hospital, okay. Which of the following is most likely to get the project back on track? A, sponsor adding $2 million to the initiative. B, confirming the business value of the project. C, hiring contractors from a nearby city known for high unemployment rates. Or D, it's best to delay the project until the resources are released from competing projects. All right, which one of these would you knock out? Does not make any sense. Y'all can type. Let me see if I can see a chat. Hold on. You can chat and type in the chat too. Anybody? What would you knock out? I don't know if I can hear you there, Carlisle. You may want to type there, because I can't hear it. Little audio issue there. Okay, well, I'll take you through this one a little bit. So, hiring contractors from a nearby city, that's not going to help us. Who cares about the unemployment rate? I mean, we're trying to manage a project. Now, if I were working for the government, I guess I would care about that, or the Chamber of Commerce. But for me, as managing a project, that's not the important thing, to manage unemployment rates. Now, sponsor adding $2 million. Okay, good luck going talking to the sponsor and saying, hey, we need $2 million. I don't know how well that's going to go. All right, so that's gone. And now D, it's best to delay the project. I have yet to see a situation where people are very excited about delaying projects. This one, it seemed kind of hard, but when you started eliminating options, you see that there's only one. The other thing I want to give you from an exam standpoint is that they're really good about sometimes giving you key terms like business value. When you see something like that, please don't disregard it, because that is a very nice term in our business and project management. It might be the wrong answer, but it will always be a player. I mean, it might be one that you've got to consider. It's hardly ever like, oh, no way. So business value is an important term or phrase. All right, so those are the questions I wrote for you today. Did they help a little bit? A little bit of value there?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I will have more. So make sure that, now, as I tell people in my courses, I gave you 3 questions today. 3 questions. But I wasn't focused on 3 questions. I was using techniques, okay? Techniques to help you answer more than that. Don't forget that the reason people pass exams today, including myself, we use techniques like the one I just gave you. So you're going to go through and go, no, oh, wait a second, business value is listed. It's probably a good option. It may not be right, but it might be one that I need to consider. So that's what I want you to do as you prepare for the exam. Okay, for those of you who are still here, questions, comments, anything that I can address? Okay. Let me know. Let me see, because nobody's typing yet. But how did I get the word out to you guys about the training? So I make sure that I send out more requests. Carlisle, how did you hear about us?
I got an email.
Email, all right. Kit, are you there? Or Kit's not there. Rodrigo, how did you hear about us?
Email as well.
Email. All right. Where are you, Rodrigo?
I'm in Guanajuato, Mexico.
I can't hear you, sir.
I'm in Guanajuato, Mexico.
No, Guanajuato. All right. How's everything in Mexico?
Everything is going well. Yeah.
And Tanya? Can I hear Tina? All right. No worries. Okay. So let me know. Are these productive for you? Let me know, because I only do stuff. Hi, Tina. Where are you, Tina? I saw your little message there. Let me see if I can go look for your name. Facebook. All right. Okay, no worries. And I just want to see where you are, Tina, because oh yeah, I know, Tina, I know you. Tina, I know you. All right, sorry about that, Tina. So, I know where you are. So, Tina, you're going to join us. Let's see if I can schedule you, Tina, in the next call so that we can get some feedback from you, okay? I want to make sure. I didn't know you were coming tonight. It was my fault. Okay, so tell me, effective? Does it help you prepare for your exam?
Absolutely. Good content.
All right. Okay, so we're going to bring Tina, because she's one of our PMPers, so we're going to bring her on board, and she's going to speak to us, but I want to make sure I introduce her so we get a lot of participants, so we can all benefit from her discussion. All right, Mondays work out pretty good usually. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Okay. All right, guys, I appreciate the time. I'll get my team members to schedule another meeting, and we're going to go through some more questions, and we're going to get Tina to come talk to us.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, go enjoy a nice evening, and I'll see you next week.
See you.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Night.